Hey, Randy, are you good, man? Like, you just showed up. Are you okay? Just give me a hell yeah in the chat room. All right.
He used to do a World of Warcraft advice podcast. He even did the original Drunken podcast, changing the game and influencing a generation of podcasters. But he was disgraced, accused of crimes he never committed, shamed, he disappeared. By the grace and generosity of Mr. Rich Dickman, he was raised again. Seconded by his co-host, definitely not main host, Ray, Rem Dickman has returned, sexier and more handsome than ever. This is The Rich Dickman Show, the greatest podcast ever produced by Rich Dickman with Rem and Ray. Featuring executive producer Randy, producer Ryan, Maddie from Australia, hot drummer news babe, and Svensson. The Rich Dickman Show, your slightly better than mediocre podcast.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Boom. To episode 117 of The Rich Dickman Show, the podcast. It is slightly better than mediocre. I am your host, Rem, and with me is Ray. And tonight we're going to be doing some ripping and some tearing because we have our favorite swingers, our favorite guests, back on the show with us tonight. It is Eros and Isis from the Priory Society. Good evening, Ray. Good evening, Eros. Good evening, Isis. Hello. Welcome. Hi. Missed you so much. Welcome back.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having us back.
Thank you. It's good to be here, guys.
I'm ready for the ripping and the tearing.
Create one big hole with the chicken.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. That's exciting. Hey, Ray, should I do my apology for last week now or wait to the end of the show?
I don't know how much you plan on drinking. If you drink a lot, it'll be really funny at the end.
It'll be okay. So we'll hold it for the end then. Remind me. Don't let me forget. okay, but
perfect.
keep me on board. Yes, but here's my real quick. I'm sorry for last week. You can find the unedited version on our Patreon, patreon.com/Rich Dickman. But tonight, we're not going to worry about last week until later in the show. But we will certainly get into it with our good friends Eros and Isis of the Priory Society. And I am so happy to have you both back because the last time we spoke was the day the world changed. It was actually on March 12th of 2020 that we recorded episode 99, Ray, with Eros and Isis.
Wow.
And it's been like an eternity since then. It's like 3 lifetimes of shit that's happened in the world. So, all right, Ray, I'm not ignoring you. Jump in when you feel like, but Eros and Isis, I got to know what's going on. You guys got back into Vegas. Are you guys swinging in the Rona? Like what's happening? What happened in your first few weeks of lockdown? I want to know everything that's going on with you two.
Well, my wife has a new nickname for me, and this is going to summarize everything.
Oh, yeah. So I call my husband the super spreader.
Yeah, that's correct.
That should give you all you need to know.
Well, that's because I spread the sperm on my swapped female's fupa. I squirt it all over. 8 to 12 squirts is about the average. And I just kind of
thick, milky ones.
Yeah, and I help spread it, and then they help spread it even further. Like they rub it around.
They play with it.
Wow,
rub it on their vaginas and stuff.
It's crazy.
And then they finger themselves.
This is already sexier than our porn star podcast. My God, do you use a lot of celery, a lot of protein drinks? Like, what's your secret to the ropes, man?
You know what? Celery is a big one, right? We've been told by many people. I think one of you guys also mentioned it. So celery is one. Soya lecithin, the little granules you can get. I put that in a little bit of protein shake. Soya lecithin, and then you just take that, right? Zinc, got to take zinc. Well, zinc is good for sperm production and for protection against the virus.
Immunity,
okay? For immunity in general.
Yeah,
it's
you learn something new every day.
I was going heavy on the coldies with zinc.
Yeah. Now, when we spoke last, we had been in Vegas the weekend before, and we had an amazing weekend with some couples, wife swapping, doing the whole bit, right? Sweetie, you had fun in Vegas?
I had an amazing time in Vegas, yeah.
Right? We were supposed to go back that next weekend. Then we spoke to these guys, and then Vegas shut down following weekend.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. It opened back up. Maybe it shut down because we spoke to their asses.
It's their fault.
It was a bad omen.
Whole nation.
Dickman Show, right? So then Vegas opened up.
We were terrible.
and we've been back there actually twice, 2 or 3 times, right? Since Vegas opened up again.
Yeah, 3 times.
And had some great fun with some sexy ass couples.
Yes, we did.
And again, I know you guys have questions. I know you have, you steer the show. You tell us where you want us to go, what you want to know. And we're here for you guys and your listeners. Of course, you guys have some cool ass listeners. They submit some wonderful questions and calls. And I see the interactions on Twitter. It's very, very cool.
I had a bad week last week, you two, and I scared off most of my listeners. So we're down to 6. So it's just me and Ray. It's just me and Ray tonight. But
you're cool.
I have tons of questions. Yeah. First of all, okay. How to word this one? Are you fucking in masks? Like, are you guys wearing masks? Are you following the CDC guidelines to use like glory holes and masks and backwards positions and shit?
Didn't they glory holes
spread to each other?
Is that on the CDC?
Yeah, that's one of the right. Yeah, it is.
It actually is.
Oh, God.
They recommend. Yeah.
Never done a glory hole, and I don't plan on doing one.
Yeah.
So,
Bless
no,
you.
we're not using masks.
Well, I don't want to upset them. Let's find out how they stand on masks first. Are you guys? Are you the guys who are telling people all day long, "Where's your fucking mask?" Or are you guys like, "Hey, man, fuck,
no,
I love oxygen."
I think the 4 of us all agree. I begrudgingly wear mine. I would prefer not to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the people who are more than willing and happy to put a mask on at all times.
Yeah.
And I don't understand people who are just willing to start yelling at other people because they're not wearing a mask, right?
Yeah.
So I try, cause I upset people with my opinion sometimes. I'm trying not to do that this week. So masks for everybody. Yay.
Yeah, no, I hear it. And you know what? Maybe let's leave the political stuff off to the side because people get very passionate about that stuff. And your show is a very fun show. Mm-hmm. But I got to tell you, man, when the government goes on TV and tells us to wear our masks, not for our benefit, but for other people's benefits and their health, then I'm going to go to the fucking store and I'm going to start taking out all the Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, all the Twinkies and all the shit.
All the refined sugar.
Yeah, the shopping carts, man. All that shit that they're buying, the Hot Pockets, all that shit. Yeah. And I'm going to take it out. I'm going to say it's for your fucking health.
It's for your benefit.
Get rid of this shit. Get out of the drive-thru of the Jack in the Box.
Right. Here's some vegetables and alkaline water.
Right. But yeah, man. We had that. Look, to answer your question, we are not wearing masks when we're swapping partners. And
in a private hotel room or in a private scenario. No, we don't wear masks.
No,
we'll socially distancing while you're fucking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we do
I'm not
swaps.
That flexible.
We swap by Discord. We use Skype. You know, there's people doing. They're organizing virtual parties, right? Swing parties, and they're using Zoom or other. And they're doing that, and people will talk to each other, and they'll say things like, "Yeah, let's meet up when the world is back to normal." And it's like, okay, well then why am I gonna, if they're that nervous that they're not going to meet up until the world is quote unquote back to normal, then I probably don't want to talk to them. They're probably not going to be a good swap partner for us.
Exactly.
Because they bought into the whole thing. And if they're living in fear, it's not going to be such a great time with us in private when we just want to have fun. Right. Yeah. So in Vegas, no masks, although the casinos are mandating them when you're indoors that you wear a mask, and this all happened in the past couple weeks. And so we do it. We wear them just because we don't want to get kicked out. Yeah. But as soon as a couple shows up or we're at a meet and greet where we're just kind of getting together for the first time after chatting online and after getting to know each other a little bit, we finally meet for a drink to see them in person. They see us in person, make sure everything's okay. They look like their pictures. Yeah. At the bar, because Las Vegas lounges, they typically serve food. They're exempt from the close order. So bars are still open on the casino floor, so we can sit there without mask, and it seems pretty normal, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are you doing for temperature checks? You doing like the temple, the forehead, or the anus? Like how are you taking each other's temperatures before?
Well, I use my penis, getting into it, and I'll dip it wherever they allow. Oil check, like that old wrestling move, the oil check when they put a thumb in the ass, right?
Yeah.
Do you say something along the lines like, "Do you want to see my thermometer?" and then give them that sly wink, like real awkward style?
I like that.
The casinos are checking temperatures near the registration area. So we thought we were very nervous. I'm thinking, dude, I run hot. Vegas was 114 degrees last time we were there. Yeah. And I get sweaty really fast. I'm going to fail this shit. So I was nervous that I was going to go in there and bells and alarms were going to go off. And I was already hearing my wife, hey, here's my idea. If I don't pass the test going in, you go get our room.
He's like, just stand back a few feet. All right.
But then I realized that Vegas wants to make people feel normal. So they're only checking temperatures near the front desk. Of course, we met a couple at a bar recently at the MGM Grand, and I told them, hey, I'm going to have you go through the STD check. Yeah. That's where they check your temperature, make sure you're not running a low-grade fever off a vaginal. Of course, we got a kick out of it. We were just having fun with it.
So when you're looking to meet up during something such as this pandemic that we're all experiencing, are you like when you're what's the word? When you're vetting couples, I guess that's what I can think of. Are you looking for people, like, do you have certain questions you're asking and looking for certain answers? Like, how do you feel about masks? Or what do you think about Joe Biden? Or, whatever. Do you have like a set of questions that kind of is your guide to whether these people will be cool or not?
Right. Well, we certainly don't bring up politics.
Yeah, never. The big no-no.
When we're screening couples to meet them. That's a big no-no. That's what we call non-sexy talk anytime you bring up politics. So we keep the politics out of it. In terms of COVID and, mask screening questionnaires, we know that if they're willing to meet us, they're not going to want to meet us in private with masks on.
Yeah, if they're nervous people, they wouldn't be meeting us at a time like this. Right? They'd be contacting people for next year. So that already qualifies them on our mortgage application checkbox of, hey, we like long-term couples. We enjoy couples that have kids. It doesn't matter if they have kids, but it just seems that they have a lot more invested in each other. Typically, when they're a long-term couple, they're deeply in love and they want the best for each other, which is why they're swapping and swinging, because they want each other to experience maximum pleasure and different bodies, different flavors, different sizes of another swapped partner. And therefore, they're doing it for the right reasons from a position of love and so forth. And it's deepening their relationship. So because this is how we feel about it, about swapping. That's what we look for in other couples. So you do have couples that get together, like maybe there's a man who's cheating on his wife, who has a girlfriend on the side, and then the man wants to fuck even more people. So they get together and they form a profile on a swinger dating site, and then they pass themselves off as a couple to a bunch of people. Nothing really holding them together. Sometimes they play high risk. Sometimes they do, different things. Or
solo.
Yeah, they're playing with each other, fucking a ton of people during the week. And then they meet you, a wholesome couple, married couple, children. And then they just want to have a quick notch on the belt. So this is why we like to choose couples that are, long-term couples and all that. We feel like they have like more to lose. They're really going to try
hard.
More skin
in the game, for sure.
Well, they want to respect the rules and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely. So the couples that we meet will be very respectful of everybody all the way around. So once they meet us, we typically meet either at a hotel, or if we're in Vegas, at the lobby bar, again, where we might wear masks down the elevator, down to the lobby bar, or through the common areas. But once we're in private, there's no mask. And we're pretty good at screening people at this point. So when we do meet a couple in person, it generally goes well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you guys finding that with all the coronavirus stuff that's going on, it has kind of eliminated the people that are, I don't want to say amateurs, but just less into it? Or is it thinning the pool so much that there's just less options out there?
That's a really interesting question. We've been to Vegas a few times at this point since it opened back up.
So Rem's question wasn't interesting. Ray's was.
Right.
Now you're flirting.
Dang, sorry.
I have to see his wife.
Yeah.
By the way, have you gotten Ray's wife
get in
with you yet? Have you guys started swinging yet? I know you were trying to get Ray's wife.
No,
okay.
we have not. No.
So you were giving it.
He hasn't come out to Connecticut yet.
What was the original question again?
Is it more difficult to find?
Yeah. You know what? We have actually had no problem finding people to meet up with. I think at this point, yes, there are people who are still nervous. Of course, you have that, part of the spectrum where people are still nervous. They don't want to go out. They don't want to meet people. And you also have the population of swingers that is so ready to get out of the house, get away from their kids, go somewhere, have some sexy fun, let loose, be an adult for a couple of evenings, and just have a good sexy time. So while there are less people out partying and there are less lifestyle clubs, because lifestyle clubs aren't really open right now, so because you can't really have big gatherings still, but people are going out and they're making plans, not like it was before, but we haven't had an issue, right, sweetie?
No, that's because we conduct a good awareness campaign. So with our swinger dating profiles, we're always in communication with other couples. We're always having fun, posting pictures. The swinger dating profiles are basically like Facebook, right? So there's walls and you share a Titty Tuesday picture, a Hump Wednesday picture, a bikini, whatever, Taco Tuesday. Not a taco, but a taco as in the vagina. Right?
Pink taco.
Yeah, the pink taco. Yeah. And so we're active on the websites to the point to where we haven't logged into Facebook for probably 2 years. Seriously. Because you get the same thing, you get fulfilled on these other websites, and people act like adults. They're not scared that their employer is going to see what they just posted. They're not scared that their cousins and nieces and nephews, they can be themselves because it's we've always said that the swinging lifestyle is like a secret society. And when you log into the swinger dating website, it really is like you're in temple. Like it's a private area where you can just relax, be yourself, be raunchy, be perverted. But most people, they're not that way. Most people are just regular people. Hey, what's going on for Friday? Hey, we're kid free this weekend. What's going on in the LA area, or we're traveling through town. So it's been very easy to snipe dates, set up dates. That's because we love the individual meetups, you know, the meeting one couple privately and screening them and having fun that way. This is our favorite thing. So when we go to Vegas or even in LA, it's very easy to set up dates.
Yeah. And I have to say that there are people who have different party styles. Like my husband was saying, we like to meet people privately 2-on-2 as a couple. There are swingers out there that rely solely or heavily on going to a lifestyle resort, like a nude resort, an all adult resort where it's all inclusive and play is on the table, but it's optional. If you're not ready for play, you don't have to. People go to lifestyle cruises, or they love to go to house parties and lifestyle clubs, and that's their way to engage in the lifestyle. If that's all they do, then they have no options.
Yeah, lifestyle's pretty much shut down for them at this point.
Right. Yeah.
So I think people just have to get good at doing individual dates. And we actually share that technique on our podcast, The Priory Society. We always tell people, listen, man, number one, become the best version of yourself. Become the most, you guys are explicit, right? Explicit label?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Go for it, man.
Become the most fuckable version of yourself. I mean, do your best, go and, look, I went to the dermatologist for the first time recently because I thought that if I went before that I would be a homosexual, right? Or it would turn me slowly. So my lady said, look, I made you an appointment.
I've been trying to get you to go for years.
And I finally went. I loved it. So, and that's just me trying to, reduce pores, blah, blah, blah. Right. Yeah. And of course, hit the gym a little bit. But the thing is when you're trying to meet people, there's a physical attraction that takes place immediately because you're not going to want to get naked with someone who is rude or maybe doesn't look, maybe you think they're gross looking, right? The image that you have in your head of someone who may be attractive, and everyone's beautiful in their own way, right? There's personality. There's just a great continuum of all the qualities that make someone a good catch for someone else. So there's room for everyone in the lifestyle. But I think the communication that we've been having with other couples on the websites make it easy to get dates whenever we want to flip that switch and meet a couple.
So you guys got to get back on Facebook so you can check out Ray's profile and you'll see pictures of his wife, for later on.
I know
when you guys can travel. But so the first or second meetup, after, the world changed, was there a hint of nervousness? Like, because for example, my first time going into a store after we were all told that we're all going to die, I was fairly nervous. I wore rubber gloves and an N95 respirator to go into Sam's Club.
Yeah.
And then as I was walking out of the building, I was like, God damn, that was stupid. I can't breathe and my hands are sweaty. So now I just put a bandana over my face and I call myself part of the cowboy crew. So like the first time getting together, was there a little bit of like trepidation, a little bit of nervousness, or you just horny, ready to fuck, and you just jumping right into it and not giving a shit?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we were nervous not because of a virus, right? With a 99.97 survivability rate.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
We weren't nervous because of the virus.
What?
99.9. Yeah, it's a really high
it's
survivability
right.
rate. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we weren't nervous because of a virus. We were nervous because the couple was a little nervous because we met them right before the world shut down, right? It was just a few weeks. Then they said, hey man, we are just done with kids. They got married a few years ago and they each had children. So they have a bunch of kids and they just wanted a nice free night out, right? So they contacted us. We were supposed to meet. We couldn't make it work, but now it was shut down. So what made us nervous was driving because we were in a state of kind of curfew lockdown in California.
Yeah.
We're in Los Angeles. So we're driving. We're like, okay, what do we say if we get pulled over by highway patrol?
That's right. Yeah.
What do we say? Yeah. The hotel was locked down. And
oh man, that's so,
we wore a mask in the lobby. It was all new to us.
Do you want to come with us, Mr. Officer?
Yeah. And I was like, I had some medical identification on me because I'm in the medical industry.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I could, at any time I could pull this out.
Well, she brought her medical bag in case we got pulled over.
I'm like, hey, I'm an essential worker, man.
Right.
But the great part, not besides meeting that first couple, was the traffic.
There was no traffic. We got the.
Oh, it's so great.
So check this out.
Oh, I
this
missed that
couple
part.
drove an hour and a half to meet us. I mean, they're based out in like Bakersfield, California. We're in Los Angeles. All right. Bakersfield is like way up there. Well, it's like 100 and something miles away. But yeah, they drove down to the Magic Mountain area, which is Valencia, Santa Clarita area. It's
like
real
that
nice.
area.
All like ranch style properties. They booked a hotel room. They were all on board. I mean, generally we will split a room, split the cost, all that. But they said the following, guys, we really want to meet you. Because we had been chatting. We used different chatting apps like Telegram and Kik. And so we developed a really nice banter with them, nice communication with them, nice friendship with them, sharing pictures, little video clips, things like that. So finally they said, guys, we reserved a room. After we found out that we could all meet on a certain day, they reserved a place at the Hyatt, which is a really nice high-end one. Super cheap because no one was staying there.
Right.
Next golf course view. She's let me describe her real fast for the listeners. She's a white girl that does, she would be in the movie like Coyote Wild or Coyote Ugly, like the hot bartenders.
Like, or Dukes of Hazzard, that kind of.
Yes, like Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like a farmer's daughter, a blondie girl, blue eyes, nice pop-in booty.
Super cute.
Really firm. Yeah. Really nice muscular legs. Yep. And then the guy is like a, athletic white dude, right?
Yeah, former pro something.
Can't say
no,
athlete.
He's an athlete.
Professional sports.
Yeah.
Yep. And so she,
no shit.
She's amazing. No, not bowler. But anyway, she's amazing in every way. You like the guy, sweetie?
Yeah, he's hot.
Yeah. So we had drinks for. It was so odd showing up to the room with masks, but we broke the ice right away.
It was a little strange,
we took them off immediately. And then
like unloading, we brought a couple things with us and getting through the lobby, and the guy's like, you checking in? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I need a parking pass. How are you staying overnight? I don't think so.
Trying
to answer the questions.
And then we looked suspicious as fuck because we brought a little cooler. So it looked like we were going to go harvest someone's organs. We had a mask on. We had a little cooler, red igloo.
Coming for the kidneys. I gotcha.
So, no, it was great, man. We had a wonderful time with them. We did two solid rounds with them. We probably together for maybe 5 hours. A lot of conversation. Their room had a little private patio, little deck.
Yeah.
So I was with her out there chit-chatting, having drinks. She was really flirty, and you guys were inside making out or whatever. And we were just taking turns, and they had two-bedded room, and I told them to get 2 beds. Yeah. And that's always good. You want to get 2 beds in case someone's a squirter, one of the females.
For one, yeah.
Yeah, that way one play bed. It can be the soiled bed, the wet bed, and then you can have a good time. And if they're going to spend the night, they have a drink. Bed. Yeah, so 2 beds.
Let me write that down somewhere.
We were able to spread out. She was sensual. And, man, it was just a wonderful time.
It was great.
There was nothing weird about it. Remember, these are people who, Central California, they believe like, freedom, stay out of my shit, leave us alone. So they're that kind of people, right? They're
my kind of people.
Yeah, freedom-loving people.
Yes.
And so we had a similar synergy with them, and it was just amazing. We actually will be meeting them again soon. We just have to nail down a date.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I had friends like that. That sounds awesome. That's my philosophy in life is leave me alone. Right? I don't care about anybody else except me and my family and my close circle of like 2 friends. And you guys, because you guys are good friends of the show. So I care about you guys.
Thank you.
So, yeah, rock and roll. Shit, I had another question. I can't remember. Ray, hit it, man. I'm going to think of mine because I just lost my fucking question. Fuck. It'll come back to me. You don't have one, Ray? I'll go next.
You got one. No, so you guys were talking about traveling to Vegas. Now, do you guys do that because it's a little bit of business and pleasure, or are you doing that exclusively to look for other couples or to meet other couples?
So we travel to Vegas for work, and we're there about once a month usually for work. But while we're there, our work's usually done mid-afternoon, so we can certainly make time in the evening for some fun. So we usually mix some pleasure in there each trip, and we've actually been pretty successful at finding a couple.
Yeah.
Dare I say almost every trip that we've been out in Vegas?
Almost every night. So just so you guys know, so we operate apartment buildings, right? I don't know if we've talked about this before. So we have a couple buildings in Vegas, and we're doing some rehabs, upgrading the units and buying new stoves and, doing a nice rehab to make sure that it's a nice apartment home for the residents. And so we're there making sure, the right model came in on the microwaves, the right tiles being installed, all that good stuff. So we do spot checks and we show up randomly. So in the swinging websites, they have a feature, which is a travel calendar. And they also have what's called a rendezvous or a speed date. So you'd let people know, hey, we're in Vegas on these dates. And it'll sound something like this. Hey, we're in Vegas from this date to this date, looking for a cool couple for some sexy fun. Send us a message if you want to get together, something like that. Real simple, real clean. And this is just, and everyone sees it. Anyone who's a member on the website, and we're on 2 primary websites. Yeah. And so we'll put up an alert and we'll start getting a bunch of messages, right? Naturally, that's what happens when you put up a classified ad, so to speak. And then from there, we share pictures, we show each other, hey, thumbs up, thumbs down, sweetie, do you like this guy? Do you like this girl? And, we'll go back and forth and we'll kind of, we'll pare it down to, and honestly, guys, we have about a 10% success rate. We call it a 10% nakedness success rate. Out of 100 couples, we may end up meeting only 10 people in person. And even from there, we may only end up getting naked with 2 or 3 couples max. And that's because, either they say something too weird or raunchy, or they want to spit in the face, or they want to do the ripping and the tearing, or they don't look like their pictures. Or here's the big one that no one really talks about, or they don't like us. For whatever reason. I mean, the girl, maybe she doesn't like a Mexican guy, or the guy, whatever.
Or maybe she likes you too much.
That's happened before.
And the guy feels like he has to put the brakes on the evening.
Yeah. We call that the indecent proposal syndrome, where the girl is just a little too flirty, and the man basically says, I don't think we're going to meet you guys anymore.
Yeah, I have that same problem all the time too.
So what is something that they would say that would throw you off? Like, okay, so for instance, here's an example. Okay, I have this weird thing with people putting their fingers in my mouth, right? And I went to the dentist twice in the last 3 weeks because I had to have a checkup and had a filling done. Ray, I got to tell you real quick, I had my filling redone last Friday, and I was really getting excited because they got to get in there to get the filling done. Well, things had changed. They shoot you up with a needle, and she barely touched the inside of my mouth. It was really disappointing. So anyways, I have this weird fetish, Eros, where I like it when a latex glove hand goes into my mouth and starts prodding and pulling things. Like, would that, are we done? Like, are we not swinging if I tell you about that?
Okay, so you like it or you don't like it?
Yeah,
like he does.
I don't like the drill. I don't like the needles and all the other bullshit and the Novocaine. Right? I don't like that. But I discovered that I like a latex gloved hand in my mouth, like move around my teeth and moving my tongue around and pulling my cheeks apart. I enjoy that. I discovered that recently.
Do you enjoy it when the fingers are a little chubby, like a little thick fingers, like on a black man, big hands, or do you like a dainty hand? I'm just trying girthy, how thick you like your fingers?
I like. Listen, it's 2020. I like it all. I like to get in there and just.
You're fluid.
Just start pulling.
Just close your eyes and enjoy the ride.
Like hands in
I tell my wife.
Okay, I'll jump in.
Do guys do that, Sweetie? Do they put fingers in your mouth?
Sometimes, and
how is it?
It's okay. It depends on the guy and really the energy and the chemistry. Sometimes I'll ask for it, but it's been rare, really rare.
Where you'll start sucking on their fingers
on one finger. Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but I don't like necessarily like a bunch of hands touching my face, but
right.
if like in general, like in everyday life, I don't
most women don't touch their face. They fucking hate that.
Right.
They spend a lot of money, products.
Oh yeah.
Greasy ass hands, and then you're blocking their pores, pimples. They freak out.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want to shove my fingers in anybody's face. That's not what I want it in mine. So for everybody out there, if I end up swinging with any of our listeners, right, just know, feel free to shove those fingers right into my mouth. It's fine.
And you have an all male audience, right?
I have 1.5 females.
I love it. So there was a woman last week, and this was our second meeting with them. We met them at the Doubletree in Ontario, California. Real cool property. And
great couple.
Yeah, real great couple. She's actually Native American / Latina mixed. Nice tan skin, muscular legs, tall girl.
Super exotic looking.
Oh yeah, like very good body. Like she works out daily or whatever. But guys in construction, nice man, stand-up man, have children, all that stuff. And he's into, the boating, the razors, and all the outdoor shit.
Outdoor play,
Yeah. Real nice couple. This was our second meeting. First time we met, she did that. So I'm on top of her missionary style. I'm penetrating her.
Yeah.
And I'm putting my weight on her, and then I embrace her, and then I sit up a little bit so I can look at her face. Very pretty face. So I'm caressing it a little bit lightly, very lightly, like near the neck. And then she grabbed my hand, and she put my hand in her mouth. Now that does nothing to me. Now,
for you,
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And I think she enjoyed it because she did it again this last weekend when we met them for the second time.
It is kind of intimate, I think.
Yeah. And I kept thinking, I don't know, man. I mean, I get, it doesn't do anything sexually. The only thing that it does is mess with my head, because I remember, people sneezing near me, and I could smell their saliva. So now I'm thinking, all right, well, this girl's, my hands are in her mouth, and I'm going to smell her saliva on my fingers. That's where my mind went. But I'm having intercourse with her.
Right.
But just my mind works in it's like a little goofy.
A little odd, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like a little slow, I think. And yeah, I mean, I'm not a smart dude.
No,
you know what I mean? I have an okay brainstem in the back. It's kind of thick. It's a well-developed brainstem.
It's intact.
But everything else is kind of not too kind of dim. But so she did that. I tell you, man, watching her, it was hot, but I was getting more out of the entire scene.
Yeah.
That hand in the face, the hand in the mouth.
Right.
Yeah. It was okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, it's okay.
She was trying to get me to put 4 fingers in her.
Inside her pussy.
I put 2 fingers in her vagina, and then she goes, more fingers, try more. And then I put 3, and then I
didn't hear that.
Well, look, I put my hand like the silent duck. Are you guys familiar with the silent duck? Okay, Ray did it. Ray did it.
He went silent.
Okay. Sorry, finish your story.
That's the silent duck right there. So
you have pinching his fingers.
You have to create a point, right? So you start with the 2, and then you the 3, and you create and that's the duck face right there, right?
I'm more into that one.
And if she's got a really small vagina, then you have to do the banana slug.
Oh, love it, with just the like the rock and roll right on.
It's almost a rock, but the 2 fingers and the thumb.
Yes. That what do you call that one?
The banana.
The banana slug.
Love it.
I like it.
it's the old dumb joke.
Gross, right?
So it sounds like that lady is really into fingers in her. So do you think that her perfect man is the 6-fingered man from The Princess Bride? Is that like her dream person? You should show up with a glove with 6 fingers on it and just see if she can't keep her eyes off of it.
Freddy Krueger.
Like just see her eyes will lock on that
whole
glove.
hand in your dick.
Yeah, I watched a Twitter video of a guy. He was flipping a hot dog wiener in his hands, like really fast, like a baton, like
just
a cheerleader.
Swirling it
He
around.
was just swirling it really quick in the hand. Maybe she would like that too. She obviously has a
She would do that with
fetish.
your dick. Yeah.
Yeah, she has a fetish of the hands and all that stuff. I didn't get into it.
She and I would get along well.
I'll introduce you, man.
Match made in heaven.
I'll introduce you guys. Why not? The more the merrier. We'll introduce our 10th set of friends.
Sharing is caring.
It is.
That's our
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm remembering what my question was. It's actually I'm really late on it now because I want to go into another topic. But I was talking to Ray earlier this evening, and I'm starting to look for a new profession because it looks like my profession is going to be changing dramatically over the next few months and it'll be terrible. Okay. So if you guys are moving out to the East Coast and you need somebody, hit me up. Do business. So now actually. You brought something up, Eros, when you mentioned that you kind of got distracted by having your fingers in this woman's mouth and thinking of the saliva and the smell and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You had mentioned earlier to produce a larger load. There's celery and soy lecithin and zinc.
A lot of water.
So
a lot of water.
What a lot of water. Yes. Yeah. See, Ray, I've been telling you, it's a celery thing. Okay. So Eros, listen, you can be honest with Ray and I. We're all dudes here. There's nobody else listening. Do you have any other performance enhancing drugs that you need to use, or do you hit the Cialis once in a while, or are you naturally ready to go all the time? And if that's the case, I need to know what your secret is.
Okay, there are a few secrets, and I'm willing to share those because it's okay. Yeah. In fact, in the swinging lifestyle, it's called swinger insurance, and that's because. How many guys, sweetie, have a hard time getting and maintaining an erection? Give them a percentage.
Oh, a little over 50% of the time.
That's right.
Where a guy either loses his erection very quickly or can't get hard at all. And just, he's in his head at that point and it's, kind of evening over after that.
Yeah, it's anxiety. Yeah. They get in their head.
Big mental game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Emotional game.
And this is for experienced people in the lifestyle too, mind you.
Not just new people.
It's not just new people on their first attempt at a full swap or their first date with another couple. It runs the gamut of people who have had no experience in the lifestyle to several years experience in the lifestyle.
Yeah. And so the number one thing is what we did 3 years ago. We went to a concierge doctor. Mm-hmm. It's a sports performance and he's does adrenal stuff, testosterone replacement therapy. He sees athletes, bodybuilders. Yep. Talk to any bodybuilder, anyone who's into physique contests, muscle contests, things like that. They're on an entire array of injections, all kinds of stuff. The first thing that they'll do, and this happened to us, this is actually what turned us into swingers in the very beginning. And I don't know if we mentioned it in one of the previous episodes, probably not, because we got into dirty stories right away. Yeah. We didn't really get into the what happened. So we went to the sports performance doctor, all right, and he basically did labs, took a bunch of blood. We went to a center. They drew like 6 or 8 little vials of blood. They did like maybe 17 different tests, testing all of your organ function, liver, testosterone levels. Well, my testosterone was low, and of course that will play a big part in libido and erections and everything else. So
mine was low too.
And yours was too. And then my lady started getting, first you got cream, right? Sweetie, testosterone cream?
Yeah, I started with a transdermal cream. So I'd have a little tube with cream. I'd click, a couple clicks and I'd rub the cream on my thigh or my abdomen. And that was okay. Like I noticed a boost in the beginning, but it kind of wore off after a while.
Then she switched to shots.
Yeah. The next follow-up we switched things over to injections.
Yeah. And I got testosterone injections. So here's what testosterone does. If you cry during Super Bowl commercials and you get that military man dropping off his daughter, she enlisted and she's going off into the military and it's a car commercial, a Toyota or something. And then he's watching her go away into the terminal with her rucksack and then he starts tearing up and then he drives away and then it says Toyota Camry and you're like, oh, damn it, what are you doing? And so this started happening to me, right? So my testosterone, check this out, guys. Now, again, this is the Rick Dickman Show, right? We're not doing medical advice here. No. You go to your doctor. Right? You go and get labs done.
Absolutely.
But I'm supposed to be normalized.
I used to do mental health advice, you guys. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You gave advice?
Go ahead.
I'd like to see how they're doing in life.
Went to the doctor.
You gave them
yeah, that's terrible.
Where are they now?
That's what we need. Oh, we do need
bring it back.
Got 2 of them here.
So,
okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Testosterone was supposed to be right around 1,000. Okay, according to labs, this is like a normal range.
Yeah.
And my shit was 338, I think, super low. So, you get lethargic. You don't get motivated. You get more emotional. Why? Because your estrogen is also higher. Yeah. Blah blah blah.
Your workouts aren't effective anymore.
Right. So
really.
part of producing more sperm was exactly that. Started getting the testosterone, started working out, food plan, hitting the staple exercises, all the testosterone building exercises, squats, lunges, all the big muscles, right?
Yeah.
All the prison exercises. If you were going to be in prison, all this shit you would do in your cell, right?
Just lift
all
heavy shit.
Yeah, upper body weight stuff, all those stuff. Lift heavy shit, put it down, lift it again several times.
Do it 100 times.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So we started doing all that. Now, let's get back to the pharmaceutical side of things, because most people, I guarantee you, are not so interested in primary health, internal health, and live, for life.
Effort and discipline it takes.
Right. It's also very pricey, guys. Like if you really want to go to the doctor and, because you have to buy the meds, you got to get your first exams, and you got follow-ups every year, and he's monitoring our blood every quarter.
And time consuming.
It is. Well, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the way that you get your body to be the best version of yourself, right?
Yeah.
And so we did that 3 years ago, drove our libido up. My lady used to rub her crotch on the couch. She was so turned on all the time. She used to masturbate in the car. She would send me pictures.
Yeah.
Tell them what kind of pictures you would send me.
I would send you pictures of me in the car. Like sometimes I was so horny, I would have to pull over, find somewhere kind of private, semi-private on the side of the road. And I would send my husband pictures of me masturbating. I would bring a tiny vibrator with me in the car, and I would use it. And then I would show you what my pussy was. And I couldn't help it. I needed to get it out of my system.
And also at work sites.
And at work sites.
From testosterone?
Oh, yeah.
From that. And then all my hormone levels being back in balance. Because I did like a 180. I mean, we already had a great sex life, but
oh, no, this was night and day.
This was really a transformation.
Let me tell you what this does, guys, here in summary. All right. Your body starts working like you were a horny 17, 18-year-old again.
Correct.
That's what happens when you have all your levels in check. When you have all your adrenals in check and all your hormones in check. So it's basically a hormone replacement therapy, testosterone replacement therapy. If anyone is curious, there's places all over the country. Some places like the Man Clinic, you go in there, they only check for testosterone. I don't advise that because that's all they're checking for.
Right.
You need a comprehensive doctor that checks for a lot of stuff, because there could be other things going on, right?
And by the way, every man experiences a decrease in testosterone after, 30 years of age?
Yeah, beyond the age of 30, you start losing 1 or 2% testosterone. But now, because everyone's so heavily medicated, it starts happening at around 20.
It's quicker, yeah.
Yeah, so by the time someone's 20, 30, 40 years of age, their testosterone is just crap.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about Cialis.
I'm almost 40.
Yeah. Well, that explains it. That explains everything. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, we're not talking about me here, you guys. I mean, come on.
Right. So back to swingers insurance.
So swingers insurance is a lot of guys will take Viagra. I'll give you one that's going to freak you out. Viagra and the generic is what is it called, sweetie?
Sildenafil.
Yeah. And you could get it from a company like Roman online. They
mail it to you.
You just answer a bunch of questions. You basically have to be honest. Like, fuck, I hate getting up early. I'm not motivated, whatever.
Your blood pressure is this or whatever it is. Yeah.
It's tough for you to maintain an erection. All the truth. You tell them the truth. And then sometimes if they have to do a teleconference with you, they'll do like one of these telemedicine quick chats with you. Otherwise, if you answer the questions satisfactorily, they'll just start sending you stuff. Sildenafil and Cialis. You have to decide which one works better for you, and it's just a matter of you sampling them. Now, there's one called Trimix.
Yeah.
Trimix. It's an injection on the shaft of your BP, right on your shaft. Guys will they take a little needle.
Inject your dick.
An insulin needle. And they'll inject Trimix. That's what it's called. It's the medical term for it. Right on the cavernosa, like 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yeah. Right into the hollow part. And they'll inject it. And then that'll give them an instant erection that actually won't go away until they do the antidote. They
have a rescue shot that helps them get back to normal. It ends the erection, basically. Otherwise, they'd be hard for hours.
Depending on the dosage. Yeah. And so we've actually met a couple guys that do it. Right?
Yeah, and then their dick works really well.
You played with one guy that did.
I did.
He said, guys, I'll be right back. I have to pee. And he came back out of the restroom at attention, dude. And we're like, damn, what's going on there?
Yeah.
And then later he confessed, these are cool friends, we know them.
Yeah.
Later he confessed, and we didn't know that about him. But then he said, hey, I actually do the Trimix. And I'm like, oh shit. Now here's the deal. when you order through Roman or other places, the sildenafil, there's a lot of companies that will send you the sildenafil. Your doctor, that's probably the best way to do it, because your doctor's going to be able to monitor you and have your doctor prescribe it. And, get the generic version. It works the same. It's out of patent. So you can get it for super cheap now. So what Roman does is they'll send you or your doc, they'll send you like little 20 milligrams of sildenafil. And or a bunch of them, right? Mm-hmm. So one dose for me, if I wanted to do sildenafil and I got a prescription for it, just in case I ever was in a position where I had to perform a couple times in one evening, 3 times, 4 times, whatever, or if the girl was just super hot and maybe I got a little bit nervous or I just didn't want any emotions messing with me, I ended up getting a prescription. And so they gave me, they said, take 60 milligrams. Some guys will take 100 milligrams. And then of course, ask your doctor. They're going to tell you what to take. But they told me to take 60 milligrams, and I was scared. I've never taken more than 20. One of the tiny 20 pills, the tiny one.
20 milligram.
20 milligram. Mm-hmm. I've never done more than that, and that works wonders. And I've only done it when we're going to do two or more rounds.
Right. And like I say, you don't need it, sweetie. But when I asked my husband, I'm like, do you notice a difference when you take it? And you do.
Yeah, what happens is that you get a little bit more of
more volume.
It's desensitized slightly because it's so hard that I can go for longer without coming.
Yeah,
because it's just a raging boner with a lot of blood flow.
Yeah,
and so after a while, it starts becoming a chore, and that's the big secret. Because not only are you wearing condoms, which desensitizes it, because condoms are a lifesaver. If you're someone who has premature ejaculation, you're going into a warm orifice of
moist hole.
Yeah, of a beautiful woman. A new woman that's into you and kissing you, right? And, well, if it weren't for the condoms, I'd be like coming in 3 minutes. And so now you mix the condom, and then you mix 20 milligram for me, right? If I ever do that,
right,
then I can go on, real nice to the point to where I'll have a bangover afterwards, which is a hangover. Sort of.
because of sex, yeah.
That's a bangover for banging too much. So those are the 3.
See, I think this plays well into, I was going to ask, what percentage of performing well and like staying erect and all that do you think is mental? I mean, I already have a percentage in my mind, but what's your take?
It's high up there, close to 100. And I'll tell you why. Because if you're a little bit nervous, it's kind of all over. Mm-hmm. If you have a little anxiety or if you're scared for some reason, or if you have the opposite of compersion, which is when you look at your significant other, and if you have compersion, you would say, I get extreme pleasure and maximum joy watching her get pleasure, watching her in action, watching her enjoy herself. Now, it's a big difference from I get extreme pleasure watching herself, and I'm good with that. I love it. Mm-hmm. Some people are the following. I get pleasure, but damn it, I need to get some too. How come I can't get any too? I want to be equal. That would be different. It's no longer compersion. It's more like, hey, you just want to get in action, right?
Yeah.
So if you are a little jealous and you're in a situation where someone new, maybe you ate a big meal, big mistake. A lot of swingers, swingers have this thing where they want to go to dinner and they want to get to know you. Well, after dinner, not only are you bloated and gassy and you feel gross and now you're going to get naked, you're not going to be yourself. And if you've taken performance enhancing pharmaceutical, nutraceutical, some kind of herbal pill, it's not going to work as well. They'll tell you right on the container. Your doctor will tell you, if you're going to use this pill, don't eat a big meal. It counteracts it.
And don't drink too much alcohol. Please. The whiskey dick is a real thing.
It's real. It'll counteract all your pills. And so anyway,
but people only like me when I'm drunk.
Yeah. So. You're more agreeable. You're more nice. So yeah, it's in large part, it's mental. It's a big mental game.
Yeah, I think so.
You have to be very solid with your choices. And and of course, let's not neglect the physical part, because your body has to pump blood in a great fashion, meaning you have to do your walks, be in good health, as best as possible, and you have to be able to rush blood to your penis, basically, right? And that's where those medications will come in. If that's something that can help an individual, then hey man, use that, and it'll be a good time for everyone. And there's ways to take it, like you can take it like an hour before, maybe 30 minutes before, but ideally they say like an hour. Now it's tough in a swinger game because sometimes we're meeting a couple and we don't know whether we're going to go upstairs to play.
Yeah.
We don't know whether it's going to translate into anything, right? So if I'm in a situation where I'm feeling like, oh, okay, this is going to be good, and I'm in between rounds, then maybe after the first round, then if we know we're going to hang out
and it's going
I'll
to
do
round 2,
I'll do like one of the 20 milligram tinies.
And I do have to say that it is really a huge mental game, because when the guys have had issues, like my partner for the swapped evening, when they have had issues, these guys typically don't have a problem fucking their wife. So they have no problem. Back. Yeah, they have no problem getting an erection and fucking their wife at home. But, in a swap scenario, that's when they experience the problem. So it's, definitely a huge mental game.
We had it happen in Vegas. This was probably in January sometime this year, pre-corona days.
Yes.
And we had a
world ending.
We were staying at the Mandalay Bay, and a couple came to meet us. A very nice couple, Latin couple, Latinos, and like Central American or something. Haughty woman, probably I think she was a college professor or something like that. Real nice, real hot. The guy was a real good looking guy, nice guy. Well, we went upstairs and he had just a difficult time. We were on swap beds. His wife was all in 100%. So was I. She was amazing. Pretty feet, the whole thing. I mean, I was just like all into her.
You really liked her.
Yeah, she was great, man. She came dressed up. She looked like kind of corporate, but sexy at the same time.
Cute, yeah.
And then tell them what happened, like with that guy. You guys were together, and what kind of stuff did he start telling you?
He started telling me, I'm sorry, I just can't do it.
And I noticed him looking at us a lot.
He was looking at you and her a lot, and he basically just shut down. I'm like, well, we can still keep busy, because I'm trying to salvage the evening. I can still have fun if he goes down on me, or if...
And you went down on him too.
I did, for a little bit, but it wasn't working. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not just going to be down here forever. Right. So now it's your turn. You go down on me. But he really didn't he wanted to just kind of sit down and chit chat. But then I was trying to keep a conversation going, and he wasn't even chit chatting.
Well, my lady was a good wingman, because she saw that I liked his wife. Yeah. So she was trying to keep the action going so I could further. Now I stopped out of respect, to the entire
and his
scene.
wife did too, truthfully.
Well, she looked over and she said, I wonder what's going on with my
what's
husband.
Wrong, honey?
And then at one point she said, oh, that's okay. They're just talking. This is what she told me.
Right.
So she got back into it. Yeah. So I'm like caressing her, and I was barely condom. I mean, I was barely going to get into it. I was going to dive head first into it. I was going to perform my childbirth fantasy and stick my head and just go in there, pretend I'm doing a reverse childbirth and stick it. Yeah. And it didn't happen. Before that, he walked over. And then he told me, he goes, hey, he tapped me and he goes, hey, I can't, I need my wife for a second. And I jumped off immediately, because it's a respect thing, right? If he needs his wife, that tells me, hey, I'm good. And I basically said the following. I said, absolutely, no, go right ahead. I stood back, and then I kind of went off and started mixing a drink. Well, they had a little conference, a little chit chat, him and his wife. And then they started playing together, him and his wife. I see the lady, I could tell she was trying to salvage the evening as well, like you were. I think the ladies were conspiring to make this thing happen.
Yeah.
And so they had a conversation. They started making out as husband and wife together. He got an erection again, right? And then once he was okay, his lady basically said, okay, my work is done. She came back and she calls me over and says, okay, come on. And then we jumped back in the bed and started doing stuff again. His erection, how long did it last?
A couple minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, not long at all. Yeah. He basically lost it immediately.
Yeah. And then he got almost a little emotional. I mean, he did not break out in tears, but the conversation got non-sexy very quickly. I mean, he started talking about work, and then you guys were just talking, having a conversation. I'm trying to be sexy time over here.
Yeah. And then of course, I'm trying to keep the volume down on the conversation, but I was the one leading every part of the conversation, because he's basically shutting down.
One word answers.
And going into like a slight depression almost. Right. And so,
oh God.
And then you and her could hear us talking, obviously, because we're all in the same room.
She was guiding my penis into her. I mean, she was like, she was there.
Yeah. So anyway. So
and we stopped it. We stopped short. Yeah. When I noticed that he stood up, you stood up, and you I know you were speaking loudly so that I could hear.
Yes.
You're like,
okay, what's going on.
Okay, well, we can take a break. And I heard all these key words, and then immediately I said to his wife, hey, let's check on these guys. Let's see how they're doing.
Right.
Let's refresh our drinks.
Right.
I knew it was over.
Yeah.
And she didn't know it was over, but
we did. Yeah.
I mean, I started turning lights on.
Yeah. And getting dressed, we put our clothes on.
And listen, we didn't kick them out. We're not rude people. We didn't have another date set up or anything, but within half an hour they were gone.
Yeah.
We didn't even try to salvage the evening and get another date. We were just like, you know what, forget it. It kind of ruined our mood too.
Yeah.
Because this guy was gung-ho. We had been chatting for 3 weeks and flirty and about how he's going to do this.
Right.
And just like, okay, well, maybe don't talk a big game next time.
Yeah,
Just,
please.
You just walk quietly and slowly and carry a big stick.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a surprise instead of you bringing up the mood and telling us it's going to be wonderful and then shut down. Yeah.
Sounds like
under promise over deliver.
Yeah.
I think so.
God, I mean, I feel like if I was sitting there talking to ISIS, I'd be like, "Hey, I saw that video of you dancing your way into the Bellagio or whatever it was."
On Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah, we're at Priory Society
on
Instagram and Twitter.
Go watch our video.
So you've been posting a lot more video content, which I love. I always watch your videos when you post them, whether you're walking through LA or through Vegas or whatever it is. And you guys are very good about keeping your identities secret, right? So if you're trying to remain anonymous, which is fine, no, there's nothing wrong with that, but you're also posting the videos and getting real close to your chins, but not so much. Like, are you ever? Is there like a fine line you're skating with people recognizing just maybe from the shoulders down, or
definitely, sweetie? What would you have to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did talk about, hey, at what point would we be comfortable just showing our faces on our social media accounts? And the thing is, we do keep our Instagram account private, for the podcast,
Right. Look, let's face it, guys. A little bar over the eyes isn't really protecting anything. We know that.
Yeah.
Okay?
If someone knew us, they were like, okay, I've seen that outfit on ISIS before, and that's her face. That's her smile. That's her body.
We know that. Yeah. We do it as a gimmick, okay? Mm-hmm. Because we're offering our Backstage Pass for podcast subscribers, and for our Backstage Pass Inner Circle, we show our faces, we talk to them, we film in the studio. We have 3 cameras in here. And we do the whole thing for them, for people who want a deeper, a more connected experience, more of us,
more access.
And there are some people, and you guys know, you're in the podcast game. There are some people that just want a little bit more content, more media, a different aspect of what you guys do, how you come up with topics, your studio setup, all that good stuff naturally, right? I mean, yeah absolutely. I've purchased t-shirts of different shows, and I've, of course, we're all into that. And so, just go to any concert, right? We go to concerts and we buy like all the t-shirts.
Every time we go somewhere, we buy a t-shirt.
It's a beautiful thing. So we created the Backstage Pass for that purpose, where we give more media. So we're basically covering our faces now. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but the banner that covers our face has been getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Before it was
smaller and smaller.
Yeah. Before it was like we would crop only up to right above our shoulders. Yeah. Now we don't mind showing our chin. Heck, on Instagram, on our stories that disappear, we have our faces on there. Yes, we have sunglasses.
It's profile. And exactly. Our faces were in
so
there.
You're correct, man. These videos that we film, we will get our profile. I'll get my lady walking from the back, mostly because she's walking and I'll say, hey, let me film your booty. And then I realize that that's a good video that we can show later on. So I do the video.
And I don't mean to be weird. I love those, by the way, because ISIS has the perfect hips and ass. It's just, Eros, I'm sorry for being disrespectful, but
that is not disrespectful.
No, it's a compliment.
I think to a confident individual and a confident couple, it is a nice compliment that someone says, I think your wife is attractive. Guess what? We're in the swingers game, the swingers lifestyle.
We know people are looking.
Everyone looks. Look, everything is sexual with most men anyway, right?
And women, most women too.
Dude, I'll go to McDonald's, I'll go to Starbucks, and the girl will say, good morning, what can I get for you? And I think, dude, she wants to fuck.
Yeah.
In 2020, you're not allowed to speak truth like that, man. So you're going to need to clean up your language.
So yeah, we share a lot. We upload a lot of media. We know it's about consistency and continuity, and because we don't upload like you guys, are you guys doing a weekly uploads of your podcast? Yeah. See, we don't do that. We do once a month for sure, twice a month, sometimes. Yeah. And because we don't do the podcast that often, we upload a lot of other media so that people can still become engaged and chit chat with us, ask us questions, things like that. And then when the podcast does come up, then we like to watch our analytics, kind of take that nice spike every time when we do release media. But I think it would be important, like you guys do, to learn from you guys, is to upload a bit more often.
Frequently. Yeah.
So that's probably what we'll do.
Well, that's just because I have OCD and it has to be done. on Friday. I have to record on Thursdays and I have to edit on Fridays. I need to post it by Saturday at the latest. Because when we have an event like last week where I had to censor half of the fucking thing, that delayed it too.
What happened?
But I've always.
You uploaded a screenshot of like, hey, why did you abandon me? Is that part of the meltdown? What's going on? Do the show by myself or something like that?
I'm missing the.
Maybe he doesn't remember.
Right.
What chat?
There's a lot of lore, like not weird, but old lore to the show with podcasts Rem used to do. And there's a lot of drama with the people that were involved with that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it would take a long time to explain. But last week specifically, Rem had a fair amount to drink and then started berating some people, if you will. It might have got a little personal, so there's some things that he had to bleep out, which I found hilarious. But yeah,
what's the episode number?
Potentially cross some lines.
Okay.
160.
Yeah, last week's episode. I have heard that the bleeps made it funnier, which is fine because bleeps in the right using the right way make things a lot funnier.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. Listen, when you do a weekly podcast, you run out of things to say, so you just get angry and you just start berating the people you don't like anymore. Yeah. So I've seen through your social media, mostly your Twitter, either. Forgive me because I'm a glass into my Evan Williams now, so my memory isn't working correctly. But you were with another show, and there was a talk about an unfortunate incident during a couple's 69 that involved something out the butt.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah. Is it?
I'll share it. I'll tell you what happened.
Please.
Your voice is nicer, but let me just set the scene here.
I don't tell it like you tell it.
All right. The scene is the following.
This didn't happen to us, by the way.
Correct. It happened to a listener.
Oh, okay.
That is going to be coming onto the podcast, by the way, and hopefully they can tell it directly, unless they want to remain anonymous. Because I think if they say it, the other couple will know that they're calling them out. So they actually told us, please don't say our name. So Las Vegas, Bellagio Hotel and Casino, right? 5 stars, beautiful. They're in a luxury suite. Mm-hmm. They're with a Canadian couple. Both these couples are hot. Okay, they're having a great time in the room, making drinks, having a good time. There's a 69 going on. Go ahead, sweetie.
Okay, so the husband, our listeners, the husband is swapping. No, it was the wife. Okay, the wife.
They're both doing stuff.
Yeah, they're on separate beds. Yeah. Okay, they're doing a full swap on separate beds. So our listener, the wife, is with the husband.
The swapped husband.
Yeah, the swapped husband. And they're doing a 69, but the guy is on top of her.
Yeah, and she's laying flat on the bed.
So she's laying flat on the bed.
On her back.
Yeah.
So he's choking her.
Yeah, so she's sucking his dick while he's on top of her. Yeah. And as she's sucking him and they're involved in the 69, he starts making these, moaning noises, right? And she looks up and she can see this turtle head, the head of a turd,
shit log
poking out of his asshole, and then he would make a noise, and then it would go back in. The turd would disappear back inside, and then this happened like several times. Like she'd keep sucking his dick, they'd keep doing the 69, and he'd moan and then his ass started to relax. The turtle head would poke out.
She continued.
She continued.
She said
she didn't make a big deal out of it.
She said it would come out like 2.5 inches.
Oh my God.
A shiny, oily turd, and it'd go back in. Okay. Now, I asked her, I said the following. I said, sweetie, how come you didn't immediately just stop the scenario? She said, I wanted to be a good sport for my husband because I know that he was really into the wife. I didn't want to be the one to end the scene because if I would have stopped, then my husband also had to stop play. And I didn't want to make this man feel because apparently the man that was turtling his turd didn't know it was happening. And now I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he didn't know it was happening. And she didn't want to embarrass him either. So they kept doing it. The turd went back in. They switched positions. And then that's when she said, let's take a break. I need a drink refill. And they kind of ended up chit-chatting. They still ended up doing things. But she got out of that position. Where
oh my God,
he painted her forehead as it fell down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And who knows what's behind it?
Right.
Because sometimes you start with a solid one and who knows, there's a little liquid behind it or some corn. Maybe he ate a We don't know if he hit the Love's truck stop.
She could have got a dirty Sanchez.
Yeah. And so that was just an unfortunate thing. And we actually swapped with a couple. And, here's the funny thing. We swapped with a couple at the Bellagio. Mm-hmm. We were there. This was a different day completely, just a different couple. And they told us that they met with a traveling couple, and we hope it's not the same couple. I hope but this is a couple we met. Really nice couple, really solid couple.
You guys are gonna have to swap pics.
They were swapped. Why don't you tell them what happened?
Okay, so it's another shit story, but our listeners, and friends. They're swapping with this couple in the same room, and of course they're on separate beds. So this time it happened to our listener who's the husband, and he was with the swapped wife.
Yeah.
And so he's with her on one bed, and she ends up taking a shit on the bed.
Well, let me show you how it happened.
Oh my God.
There's a squirting move that a lot of men love to perform.
Yeah.
And the squirting move is such that you use your, you do your like rock and roll, rock on hand, right? With
the banana slug.
Yeah.
The Jersey meat hook, right?
Yeah. And then so you use your two middle fingers and you put those inside the vagina. And then you use your other hand to kind of press down on the fupa, on the fatty, outside of the
mound.
On the mound. Just some gentle pressure.
Shut up, Ray.
And then you start doing like
no, I know.
You start doing like
the
come here movement, right? With those two fingers that are inside, kind of come here and upwards.
The Jersey meat hook. Yes.
Yeah. So you're doing that, and you're doing you're trying to make them squirt. Now the woman obviously has to relax. So this guy says, I can make anyone squirt. Blah blah blah. It's a challenge for him. So he's making this woman squirt. Well, she starts peeing everywhere, right? Or actually squirting. But in the process, she gets so relaxed in that area. Gets so relaxed that she does start squirting, but then she also drops a deuce right there on the bed. 2 logs, Lincoln logs.
Wow.
And they hadn't put a towel down or anything. Like I don't know if he thought he could make her squirt or not. So 2 logs come out. Give them her reaction. What did she do? Did she freak out?
No, she acted like it was totally normal, and she just put a towel over it.
And they continued to play.
And said, we'll just leave it there. Don't worry about it.
They just covered it.
They just covered it.
2 logs.
Left it right on the bed.
Right there.
Yep. Like it's happened before.
Ray.
Don't bring attention to it. I don't, don't make a scene. I don't know. That seems odd.
I was like, you guys, so sorry. I think it's time to call it a night and call housekeeping.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Now I'm done.
I would be embarrassed.
Yeah, that has not happened.
Ray, when you're on Not For Human Consumption tomorrow, Ray, you got to bring the story up because Maddie and Dave are going to love this with the poop and the Jersey meat hook. They're going to absolutely enjoy that story.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think we all forget, right? Or not that we forget. We don't think about how dirty sex is, right? How dirty and messy that it actually can be.
It can be.
And sometimes you apparently really got to want it. Jesus Christ, I just kept on going. Wow.
We all forget about the human element too. You might be sitting there being like, holy smokes, that person's so attractive. They've got to be perfect. Yeah. Next thing you know, a couple Lincoln logs on the, on the bed there. And you're like, you know what? We're not so different.
Well, like my husband has had someone like fart in his face.
Definitely. Right in my face.
It just comes out.
Well, the woman last week farted.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't in action anymore. She was just on the bed and we were chit-chatting and she just let out a cute little toot, but it was deep. It was a deep fart.
She was holding it in for a while.
It came in from way inside the bowel. I mean, it had a nice trumpet sound. But I ignored it and she just kept talking and she was hoping I ignored it and I was not going to point it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, she farted. But I had a girl was going down on her. We were in Vegas. We were at I think we were at the Mandalay Bay this time.
I think so, yeah.
And this was like last November. And we were at the Mandalay Bay. Wonderful woman. She works, I'm not going to say law enforcement. How's that?
It's in that industry.
Yeah, law enforcement. Yeah. And likes to take charge, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, she was on her back, missionary style, and I was eating her out, right? Mm-hmm. I was down there face to face with the pink taco. And I was using fingers, I was using face, and then we did stuff. I was penetrating her, and then I'd come back down and kind of extending the session, right? Taking a little break, right? You know, kind of you just having a good time, right?
Sure.
And not wanting it to end so soon.
Exactly.
And one of the times that I was down there, she let out one of these flappy farts, like a queen slash a very loose fart. It was smelly.
Yeah.
It was smelly.
Mm-hmm.
It got me good. It got me like a green fog. It got me like
it slapped you.
It really did. Now it was more of a loose fart.
Right. I heard it too.
You right?
I did.
You believe, because I didn't think you were going to believe me.
I heard it.
She farted right in my face, and guess what, dude? I kept going there because she was so beautiful. She was so beautiful, and I didn't want it to end. And I know that if I would have mentioned something, that it could end the evening. Because come on, you don't call out a pretty woman on.
Yeah.
You just farted in my face, came out with some spreckles. You know, you got me.
You got to be respectful, Randy. So this was an actual fart, not a queef. Did you ever have like a woman queef in your mouth when you were going down?
Oh, queef!
Oh, damn, this fucking bourbon.
You know, it's
Jesus Christ.
What?
Sweetie, tell him about the pretty. Tell him about the pretty white girl from South Orange County that she queefed in my face.
Oh yeah.
Because I wasn't eating her out, but I was right near her because I was kissing her up and down.
I was thinking about that. So this is a couple that we love. Okay.
We hang out with them a lot.
We're great friends. And so it was one of our early meetings with them.
Yeah.
And we obviously
swapping.
we had great chemistry and we were swapping in the same room. And my husband,
two beds.
My husband was on one bed with her. And so she queefed and then a loud one. And of course, you know, me and her husband heard it on our side of the room. And then my husband starts, you know, he's a little bit more chatty than I am.
Well, she's a funny girl.
She has a similar personality. So they're a great match for each other.
Yeah. She likes to talk.
She laughs, she jokes, you know, she'll punch you and, you know, do that whole flirty kind of thing. Yes. And so after she queefed, you said to her, you know, we're talking about movies and shows that we like before we started swapping. And you said
during the small talk period.
Yeah. And so after she queefed, you were still having sex with her and you said, sweetie, you know, I have a new show I want to recommend for you. It's called,
well, it's the main star. His name is
Queefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
It's a show called 24.
We're just having a good time.
And you guys started busting up laughing.
But then I found the cover art online.
Yeah, and you showed her.
And it's a 24 and it had him holding a gun.
Yeah.
A car exploding. They go, this is the one. And she goes, wait. And she goes, you fucker. She started punching me.
It took her a second, like half a second, you know?
Yeah, Queefer Sutherland.
24.
Yeah, she's a hottie white girl.
Yeah.
Love it.
And her very nice.
Who would you say has had, between the two of you, who's had more? I think the answer is going to be Eros, but I'm not sure. But who has had more failed experiences? Like who's had to stop and just kind of watch the other two finish off? You know, or maybe it's Isis because the guy can't perform because he's too nervous because she's so beautiful. Like who's had more failed experiences while swinging? I feel like I want to take this one because I believe, and I'm not like blaming anybody by any means, but I think that I've had more of, you know, like a less than stellar experience with the guys because of either the erection issues. Like I said, they have a hard time maintaining an erection a little over half the time.
Or they come too fast.
Or they come really fast. And I'm just trying to kind of keep busy because I'm not going to be a cock block and I don't want to stop the fun for the other woman or my husband.
Well, we are good wingmen for each other.
Yes.
So we will prolong our experience. We will do what we can to make sure we each have a nice experience.
Yeah.
So if my lady has to stop for some reason, she doesn't also want to stop the play for everyone in the room.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless it's something bad, like something happened, the guy's trying to, you know, cross the boundaries, unless it's something crazy. But you were with a black man one time. He had a very large penis.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, oh yeah. And I was like, honey, get it.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah. Right.
Go get it. Go work it.
Yeah.
Go work it. He came in 3 minutes.
Yep.
I was barely getting started with his.
I know. And I'm like, damn it. My husband lasts so long. Like there's just a, you know, big time gap. Right.
Well, you wanted to experience the big.
I did. And then I was really disappointed when he came really quick. And then for him, it wasn't very easy to get started back up again.
And I could hear him going,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm barely in the first few strokes here.
Right. And then when that happens, a lot of the time, the wife will want to end things too.
If they're a couple that has that rule, hey, if I'm not playing, you're not playing.
Yeah.
And there are some couples that play that way. Now, she wanted to end it.
Yeah.
And I didn't let her. I looked at him and I said, hey, man, you came? And he's like, oh, yeah. Like he showed me that, he came like, my lady said, I want you to come on my tummy.
Yeah.
Well, he was pulling out his penis, coming in the condom actively.
Right.
Oh, no.
By the time he took the condom off, he was done.
Right.
There was my lady couldn't enjoy the sights and the sensation of it landing right near your boobies or whatever.
Right.
So then I said, oh, you came? And I said, okay, I got this. Let me fast track this.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looked at me like a thumbs up. And then I looked at his wife, and then his wife was looking at him like, honey, do you want me to stop? Kind of like one of these little mini conferences.
Yeah.
She was on her back. I was on top of her, and I had her like pinned down. Like I didn't let her like move. And then he goes, no, go ahead, honey. Go ahead, honey. And then he just wanted to lounge and drink beer. Remember that?
Yeah. And
well, I went to work
out.
I went to work on his wife.
Yeah.
White woman.
Yeah.
Awesome couple. Great couple.
They're fun.
We met at a bar beforehand, and then I was like, "Just give me," because guys, you guys know, if you focus, you can bang one out, and you can squeeze one out in like 5 minutes, probably. Right?
Oh
yeah.
So that's what I did. I started having all these.
Listen,
with enough focus.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, my condom just fell off." In my mind, I was going like, "Oh, she's so beautiful.
Right.
Look, oh man, I think the condom just broke." Like all these dirty.
The A-list. Yep.
Look at her.
Library.
It was like looking at. She had these, real pretty face, and looking at me with those green eyes, and like, God, I can't. Who does she look like, sweetie? She's amazing. Anyway,
Scarlett Johansson.
Like Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Kind of.
Oh, wow.
Like real, like blonde, tall,
solid body,
real tall,
nice legs. Yeah, big legs because like long torso, white girl, right?
Right.
And then like her knees were bent back, and they're really long. This part of the leg, like, right from the hip to the knee,
to her thigh, her thighs,
a tall woman. So I was like, oh yeah, this is amazing, right? I'm going to spill my seed on her. I'm going to continue the population.
Right.
Our kids are going to be so pretty. Like, I'm like, I'm using all these dirty fantasies, and I was able to make it happen. Like in probably
you fast tracked it
5-6 minutes, I was already So, but it was so unfortunate that. Like they were a couple. If I didn't say anything, or if you didn't continue to be chatty with him,
right,
he would have wanted to end the play.
Yeah,
for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah, that sucked. Wow. But we both guys.
So
sure.
No, go ahead, please.
Go ahead, Ray.
Okay, so as you were talking, you're saying that Isis, you correct me if I misheard, but you appreciate it if before they come, they can pull out and do it on your tummy. Now. You feel free to weigh in, Eros as well. But Isis, what kind of range are these guys getting when they do that? Yeah. Like, are they accurate that they can just do they clear aim thumb? Right there and hit it?
So a lot of the time, I'll ask them to come on my tits. Right. That's what.
Okay.
I say, hey, when you're ready to come, I want you to come on my tits. Most of them never make it there.
Right.
They will pull out. They will be respectful. Occasionally a guy, like I think he knows it's coming, but he ends up coming fairly quickly and doesn't really have time to pull out and then whip the condom off. Sometimes it gets stuck on and he has to try to pull it off a couple times and doesn't quite make it. But most of the time, if I ask them to come on my tits, they either have to kind of jump up and straddle me around my rib cage
and then jack it off,
there, or if they're still. If they're still kind of right below my waist, they'll end up just coming on my tummy.
Yeah.
So they don't have a lot of pressure behind it. They don't.
So there's not that much range. No,
not compared to my husband. Because
not everybody can be you. Jesus Christ.
So I would say compared to my husband, which babe, you're what I'm used to. Like when I wanted that, when I wanted to see it,
right.
And you would pull out and come outside on me so I could feel it squirt. Right. You would get it like past my ear.
I would leave a streak.
Yeah.
Because it would be streaking a couple times.
There'll be like one or two
Holy
flyers.
Shit.
Like the first couple squirts come out like really hard, a lot of pressure.
But I'll aim it down so it's towards your neck, towards your
Yeah. So that's what I'm used to at home. But the guys that we saw, but they don't measure up.
You get a few dribbles.
Right.
But that's because they're not doing the regimen.
They don't take care of themselves
The
that well. I
zinc,
don't think.
all that good stuff.
Yeah, like the behind the scenes health regimen and the daily routine, the lifestyle.
Yeah. Truth be told, when it's the second or third time
Mhm.
that I'm ejaculating, it's not as spectacular.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think with all of us guys,
With everybody.
it's just not as spectacular.
Everybody's
right?
that
You
way,
need
I
a full
think.
24 hours.
Yeah.
A gallon a
This
day,
guy,
water.
this
a
fucking
little
guy, second or third
Build
time.
the pressure back up.
Yeah.
Like it's no big deal. You know what? God damn it, Eros.
Rapid reload.
Hot Drummer Newsbabe's going to hate this podcast with all that cum talk. You guys, I love you two so much. How can I? Okay, I'm sorry. This is no relevance to anybody except me, but I'm just curious. How tall are you guys?
Sweetie, how tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
5'9". And if I were
Okay,
to choose,
good. I'm still taller than everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a tall dude.
Yeah.
I don't know why that means anything. No, I'm not. I'm 5'10", so I got you. I'll fuck everybody.
No.
All right.
And he's wearing his sweatbands, his headband.
Yeah, I know.
You ready for the sport?
Yeah. I got to keep it.
Hey, so
warm down here.
I got a question for you guys, Eros and Isis. So I'm looking into purchasing my first home, and I'm going to end up having my own room, like an office.
Yes, he is.
For the first time. So
It's finally going to happen.
I got, a bar setup advice because when you guys post those pictures in hotel rooms, you guys set those things up very nicely in a situation or a setting that's not necessarily meant for it all the time. I mean, it's not like a homemade bar, right? Or it is a homemade bar. But what I'm curious is, what are like your 3 essentials, like the must-haves? Like what kind of stuff should I be absolutely doing?
Ray, goddammit, Eros and Isis, I am so sorry that he's asking this question right now because you addressed this the first time you were on about setting up a sensual sanctuary. And I remember with the lighting and the extra little lights underneath the bottle. I mean, go ahead and answer because my audience would probably appreciate it and they all forgot the first time. But damn it, Ray, you got to be more respectful to our guests.
No. And but let me elaborate a little bit then. Is because you guys are doing that like in a hotel room, right? To attract people in there. I'm not necessarily doing it for swingers, but what's your bar must haves? It could be what kind of drinks. I mean, it's more than just what he's saying. The mood.
Right, so we did actually on as far as our hotel room goes, we call it a sensual sanctuary, and we did a 3-part series on it, episodes 31, 32, and 33. But specifically for the bar, we talk about it in episode 33 of the Priory Society podcast, which is creating the ultimate bar for your swingers party. But it's actually a great idea for any kind of setting. So what we do is we have what we call, a par bar. We've got some alcohol essentials. You need some alcohol essentials and mixer essentials.
You want the ingredients to a Long Island iced tea. So you want some vodka, gin, rum, tequila, triple sec, and then from there all your other specialty stuff. But you need to have vodka, vodka, gin, rum, tequila, triple sec, right? Yeah. Have those, and then from there your whiskeys, your bourbons, and all the other stuff. But you need the staples. Now you need a tequila that is not Cuervo Gold, right? You need a tequila that don't go to Rite Aid and get it from the bottom of the shelf. Tequila that's not even behind the cash register.
It's in a plastic bottle.
You want the tequila that's that's in the locked box, right? Now, you also don't need to spend a ton of money. You don't have to have a $120 Don Julio 1942, but a Don Julio, Avion, they make good ones. Casamigos is actually pretty good. Have one that you can sip a little bit and you can also mix, and you're not going to feel stupid either way, right? Yeah. And so you set up you need mixers. So you're going to need to have your sodas because people love to mix their Sprite and their ginger ale. Mm-hmm. So the big ones are club soda, tonic. You need that, especially quinine is going to help you fight the coronavirus.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, the British holders.
It's a real thing.
They would drink quinine.
Oh, I hate that stuff.
Rule the world with quinine.
Yeah.
So you need club soda, you need quinine, you need, of course, the Coca-Cola, the Sprite, you need ginger ale on deck.
We always have like cranberry juice and pineapple juice.
Pineapple juice you need, absolutely.
Yep.
The cans, the Dole can.
Yeah, you got to
cheap ass.
Get the flavor that comes out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No, like real pineapple juice. And then so we also add
that's a good idea.
And then you got to have plenty of ice, and of course the cups and the straws and the stir sticks and all that. But you have to have your standard alcohol and then your mixers. And if there's a specialty drink that you like to make sure you have all those ingredients too. We don't get too elaborate on our bar setup.
Right. When we're doing a swingers room,
Yeah.
we keep it simple. We steer people towards vodka sodas. I drink the peach vodka with some club soda. Peach vodka made by Ciroc. They use good botanicals. It's very true flavor. And it's also a clean drink. It doesn't really mess with your breath too much. It's more of a clean drink. And that's kind of what you want. You drink margaritas, that lemon lime stuff, it has that Gatorade effect. You're playing basketball with the guys, that Gatorade breath. That's not good when you're swapping.
You're making out with the dudes after playing basketball.
Yeah,
Get the Gatorade breath. Right.
Getting in their bands, right?
God damn.
Right. RV life, baby. RV life.
The wood panel cars, station wagons.
So those are some highlights, man. So basically, you want to get the drinks that you love and that your friends love, and then be able to make those with the quick recipes that you have there. Like we like old fashions, so we have all the stuff to make old fashions: the Luxardo cherries, the muddling, the sugar, all that good stuff.
Sure.
But, yeah, man. Can't wait to see it. I think the only big thing that you want to add once you have your bottles all set up is some nice lighting. So they sell acrylic steps, acrylic shelves, and you could put some LED lights underneath them, plug them in, or battery operated. Nice light effect like the bottles from under if possible.
So if you get clear bottles, like alcohol that comes in a clear glass bottle, it looks really amazing with the lights shining through the way they get backlit. It's
amazing. So they have these little bar lights that are 12 inches in length. Don't get any ideas. I see him already. He's jumping to say something. That's what she said.
That's about half the size of my dick.
These are, a 12-inch little LED bar, battery operated, remote control, any color spectrum when you start toggling through. $15, Home Depot. We got a couple of those we travel with. They sell LED disc lights, all kinds of really cool stuff out there. Amazon, you could buy some bar shelves that already have built-in LED lights. I don't like those that much because you're stuck with one color.
Right.
And at least this other way, you can kind of mess with the color scheme. Right? Anyway, we do that. We set what we call the sensual sanctuary. It brings the party vibe into our hotel room. We dim the lights. We use color bulbs, accent lights. We turn down the lights. And this is a way that we create a sensual space to get the people to have a little bit of a time distortion and also to feel more sexy. A little bit dim lights.
Light is flattering. People.
And then before you know it, we do our club sandwich, which is the ultimate icebreaker.
We always have music playing. That's danceable. Sometimes we have a party bulb that we turn on that, when it spins and it has kind of a kaleidoscope effect on the room. And
you could really go for a club sandwich right now.
Party vibe.
Well, so you must travel with this lighting. Does anyone ask you, like, you ever go through like TSA and they're like, what's all this lighting in your bag?
Look, the lighting all fits in a little duffel bag, and honestly, if you open up the bag, it looks like a production bag. So you can just say, we're filming we do media.
We've got like industrial kind of clamp lights and extension cords, and
we're
there's
YouTube streamers. We're doing
in there or anything.
Us too.
We're going to film a porno. No, generally in Vegas, we drive there, guys, because Los Angeles, we're in LA.
Couple hours.
To Vegas, we'll get there in
5 hours.
4 hours or so.
Hey, same distance to up here in Sacramento.
Hey, man.
Almost. Unless you guys are north LA.
Yeah, well, we're near Universal Studios.
Like the valley.
We'll meet you guys in Fresno, man. Still got to see a picture of your lady, though. Still haven't seen it.
Ray, get her. While I do my bullshit, tell your wife to get in that room and show her off like you normally do.
Oh, we'll meet you guys.
We'll get in that. Are you guys in the voice channels in the live show voice channel there too? If you click on that, I'll
in the voice channels. How do I get that? I see general chat.
Just click Rich Dickman live show.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. There you go. So Ray's in the last pictures of his wife on there. Did you guys know? I think it's Las Vegas. It's further west than San Diego or some shit, like in real life, which is weird. Anyways,
oh wow,
you do a whole. Yeah, if you get on, if you're like really messed up at night and you're just watching YouTube, you learn a lot of stupid bullshit.
A lot of useless data.
Yeah. So as we wind down here, I do have to say, first of all, Eros Nisus of the Priory Society. I love you guys. I love the two of you so much. You are just my favorite guests ever. No offense to any of my other guests. I love you all, but you guys are just so much fun. And thank you so much for coming on. I have been asked by Jonathan Silver and the attorneys of Rich Dickman Group to say the following. I do apologize for the words I used last week and for being a little irresponsible in my drinking. Sometimes we have a little too much and we say a little too many. We say a little too much, and it shows. So we had to edit last week's episode just for the sake of my own safety. Really, it's just for me and my personal benefit to have edited last week's show. The unedited version can be found on our Patreon, patreon.com/Rich Dickman. You can hear all the horrible things I say, but otherwise you get the edited version. And I'm sorry for that. I should hold myself to a higher standard. Obviously, I did so tonight, just barely. All right, that's it. That's it. RichDickman.com for anything bold bullshit. Okay. Eros, Isis, you can see Ray's lovely wife is now in our Discord, bit.do/TRDS1. Mm-hmm. Please tell us and me and Ray and all of the audience of 6.5 people, because we lost 2 after last week, Ray, where we can listen to more of your stories and your podcast and your merchandise and all the other fun stuff. And you know, the behind the scenes photo and Isis and her beautiful dancing, walking into the doors of the Bellagio or whatever hotel that was. Where can we find all that?
Yeah. So our website is priorysociety.com. And that's where you can, find our podcast. You can link to all the major podcasting platforms from our page there. We have, all our shows. Each episode has show notes with it, and we do a little backstory to each episode, so you can go on the website and read it. Excuse me.
Corona.
No. I don't got the Rona.
Baby, don't do me like that.
Baby, don't give me the Rona.
Yeah, so priorysociety.com. If you click on merchandise, all our stuff is there. We use a Maltese cross with a fleur-de-lis in the middle. Very mystical. The swingers lifestyle is like a secret society, so we use these symbols that represent that as well. Now, if you want to meet other swingers, then I would encourage people to get a t-shirt with the logo on it. We have t-shirts that don't have the podcast name, so no one will ever know what it is unless they're also a freaky person and a listener. So
the privacy version of
the privacy, right?
Yeah.
There's just the seal, the star, or /cross, and you can just tell people, I love Harley Davidson because it kind of looks like that, or I like reading the Da Vinci Code. Yeah. But if you want people to approach you, if you're open-minded, or if you just want to have fun conversations, then you'll definitely strike up some nice conversations. Even if it's someone that says, "Hey, what is that all about?" And you can easily say, "Well, a friend that's a swinger."
Let me tell you.
By the way, I'm seeing the picture of the wifey here. She is very, very nice. Very, very beautiful. God. Oh, she looks great. Full body.
I can't wait for you to do a number on that. Eros, Jesus Christ.
Posted a picture of she's covering her body, man. So if you were a swinger, and I know you're not, but if you guys were, I would tell you immediately, you need a head to toe picture that kind of highlights the body style. Yeah. Because people want to see the body style. So for a swinger, and of course it's a selfie. We have next episode. We're gonna talk about the ideal pictures that people should have in their swinger dating profile to get more dates,
to attract more sexy couples.
You hear that, Ray?
Man. She looks good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So next time we have you guys on, I'll have pictures of all the ladies that have ever been in my life, and we'll just start rating all of them.
Yeah, I did that last week too. That was fun.
just it'll be awesome.
Real quick, man. We were talking about the social media and stuff.
Sure.
I just want to mention that on Instagram and on Twitter, it's very simple. Priory Society, and of course, Priory means church, abbey, monastery. So it's quite the opposite of what we're actually doing, right? So Priory Society, and we love to engage. We love to chit chat. If you guys have questions, and it doesn't matter. We will never try to convert anyone into the swinging lifestyle. Right. People email us all the time. Hey, your show has helped us because our fantasies have increased in the bedroom. Thank you so much for that. So if you just have questions about anything having to do with the lifestyle, hey, we're happy to help you guys out. Just send us a message, DM, and we're good to go. But we're happy to just let us know that you heard us on the show, so we'll actually pay more attention and respond quicker.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. I do have I forgot my voicemails, Ray. Let's see. It's 5 minutes of voicemails. You want to do 5 minutes of Isaac voicemails, Ray? You want to do that after the show?
Oh man. We can do it after the show.
After the show. All right. Ray, do you have any last words for Eros and Isis, our fantastic guests?
We love you guys. You guys are so awesome. Just every time you come on, it's a pleasure.
Thanks so much, guys. And we'll hit different topics whenever you want.
Yeah.
We're all on board for this. You guys know we're gun people, Second Amendment people. So, all across the board, whether it's swinging or any other stuff. And I actually respect you guys. You kept it real light, no politics on the mask stuff. And it's kind of cool. Keep it neutral for everyone. Respect everyone's wishes.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what though? Like, fuck everybody though. I just want to say what I want to say. No, you're right. Absolutely. We got to please everybody. But thank you, everybody, for listening to the Rich Dickman Show. We love it when you do listen. If you like what we do, want to support the show, you can tell a friend and leave a review. That would be awesome. But if you like us even more than that, why not check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Rich Dickman. You can find episode 116 unedited. You can find the Torn Think Tank emails that broke up the show on that as well. And you can also find a couple liquor-fueled episodes from... how many years ago, Ray? Jesus, like 5 years ago now? God, those are old. We did a little bit of a pop-up audio on that. So check it out. Patreon.com/Rich Dickman. And you can find us online at richdickman.com for all your Rich Dickman needs. Click that merch tab. Get some awesome t-shirts. We got a whole bunch on there. If you think China sucks, not the people. The Chinese people are awesome. I'm talking about the communist, horrible government of China. We have a t-shirt that says China is asshole. You can also go ahead and get yourself a Rich Dickman t-shirt with our faces on that. We're on YouTube. The show goes on YouTube every week. I'm sorry, what was that?
Well, my lady was going to do the voiceover.
China asshole.
Yes. That's exactly what the shirt says. So it's great. So check it out. But we're on YouTube. If you're checking us out on YouTube, please subscribe. You can check out Isaac's podcast. He's got a new episode out as well. Chip It Out with Isaac with his co-host CJ, Crippled Jesus, and of course our good buddies at Not For Human Consumption, of which Ray will be a guest tomorrow night. So their episode releases on Tuesday. You can hear Ray on the Not For Human Consumption podcast with our good friends Matt, Dave, Jay, and Dylan. Ray, how do we follow you on the Twitter or wherever else you may be?
I'm on Twitter at Jules Winfeld. And then the best way is still call the Dickman line, 860-316-4776.
That's right. Or you can drop us an email, richdickmanshow@gmail.com. Executive producer Randy, thank you so much for all your help. He's no longer on social media, but you can follow us on social media at Rich Dickman Show. I am at Rem Dickman, and of course, producer Ryan is at Ryan TRDS. And hey, Priory Society, guess what? My mother is on Twitter at Rem_Mama. Hopefully, she doesn't listen to this episode. That's right. I didn't have as much to drink as I did last week, which is good. But I had enough this week to make it so that I don't know how to end the show. So we'll end the show.
I want to take a picture.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
See ya. Did you guys see when my wife just showed up a minute ago?
I saw her booty, but it was so quick.
I know. If the camera zoomed in too close to my face, she brought me fresh baked cookies and milk. What a sweetheart.
Jesus, Ray.
Can't go wrong.
Fuck you, Ray.
Suck it.
God, you're living
These are delicious.
Perfect life like some sort of asshole. I hate you so much.
I gotta move to the new house and then I'll be perfect.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys want to stay for the Isaac voicemails?
Yeah, go for it. We're just hanging out. Yeah, we're good.
All right, these are fun. Here we go.
You better strap in. He's nuts.
Hey, what's up, Rim? I know you got them swingers back on and shit. I'm not gonna say anything disrespectful, even though I don't really agree with that lifestyle. But yeah, I mean, and I don't agree with the politics, which I'm gonna bring up because it be like that, bro. I'm talking about it be like that. Free my nigga Mark Conan.
They agree.
But
with
damn,
you.
bro, you recommended all the other podcasts. You ain't even put your boy on front page. Oh man, like. Damn, I mean, that cut me deep, man. You already know I'm cut deep. You know what I mean? It's like,
oh shit.
You know what I mean? I feel like everyone's forcing me down like a dark path, bro. I feel like I'm about to be like,
oh God, I'm so sorry.
The Black Elliot Rodger. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just have like this really retarded autistic manifesto and shit, and I'm gonna really fuck up and, you know what I mean? Just like, instead of like, targeting a group of people, just kind of like actually just kind of kill anyone that, is just randomly, in buildings that I shoot at because, of the autism.
No.
Damn. Did me dirty. But, I mean, on the subject, I mean, it was dope meeting them, man. I wish I could, I mean, I understand that my podcast, is a little bit, is not, it's definitely on the rated R kind of, side of the internet. It's rated C for cancer. Yeah, I mean, that's the new thing, bro. We coming up with that. We bringing that out. That's like the name of my first album that I'm going to come out with. Like, it's going to have, like, Rem on it. It's going to have Ray on it. It's going to have, like, Crippled Jesus, man. It's going to have some dope guests. It's going to have some featurettes and shit. But you know,
jerk.
like talk about like Freemasonry was dope. Like that shit was interesting. I mean, just like that's what podcasting is all about, man. You got to like just talk to people, man. I'm gonna hang up real quick before that bitch cut me off, man. And you know, I mean, I say bitch because you know she if there is like a voice that's robot or automated, I mean I think you have the right to call it a bitch. You know what I mean? It's not. You know what I mean? Now maybe if you call like a female like that's physical, you know what I mean, she really, you know, she might have emotions and shit. You know, most of them exist to fuck with you, but at the same time, you know, you should at least show respect and say it like, you know, bitch, like a little bit quieter. You know what I'm talking about? All right, look.
Okay, all right, three more minutes.
He's like, I gotta hang up before I get cut off, and then goes on for another 60 seconds.
Isis, do you have thoughts on this so far? Because I got 3 more minutes to go.
I was just trying to follow the train of thought. It's all
don't try.
That's the beauty of it.
That's what's so special about Isaac.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
We'll compare notes afterwards, and maybe we'll figure it out.
Well, okay. I mean, you know, I'm gonna call in just, you know, so we got the episode recorded with Adam.
Oh, Adam shot a guy in the back as he was running away. We might have Adam from Houston on the show, Ray, coming up. So stay tuned.
Oh my
I want to talk about
goodness.
shooting people.
He understood. I mean, he was just like, it's unfortunate, and I was like, yeah, you know, but I mean, Rim, I need to find like an editor, man. Like, you know what I mean? I know, like, you know, I make jokes about it all the time. You know what I mean? But like, do you know like anyone that can, like, you know, I mean, I know you don't edit that stuff, man. Like, you busy and you got kids and stuff. I mean, like, you probably got like a Cambodian man, like somewhere in the basement, man. And you got that by going on tour and then using hexadecimal codes to, like, you know what you're going to buy. How you did that, man? Can you hook me up with the dude that can get me some, you know, free labor? I don't, you know, some people say another word, but I'm open-minded. I'm not a bigot. Like, that's wrong, and I think people like that should be apprehended. But I need an editor because I actually need to get my episode out. Like, I mean, I think me and CJ want to do it like on Thursdays or Wednesdays because, you know, Tuesday all the hotness drops. You know what I mean? Like in the podcast. I mean, actually, then again, I mean, Not for Human Consumption drops their episode the same day as you, and that's not the hotness. I mean, the Rich Dickman Show, the hotness.
What?
Even tripping out with Isaac Jackson, I'm not claiming to be the hotness. I'm like the afterburn. You know what I mean?
Isaac, here's the deal. Listen, I'll edit your show, $20 an episode. I'll have it done the day you record it. Okay, you got to make it worth my while, brother. All right, and I'll do it for free, but you got to wait till when it's on my time. But if I'm getting paid, I will get that shit done. So, hey, anybody out there who wants to start a podcast, you want me to edit it? I absolutely will. It is $10 an hour, minimum of 2 hours. All right.
Or like the shit you take after you eat it, like a really hot pepper. You know what I mean? That's probably more accurate because, I mean, it's a little bit degenerate, but hey, you know, yeah.
One more minute.
I need to find a way, I mean, to have like a steady edit. I mean, shit. I mean, I'm starting to get more hours though, man. I mean, on a positive note, like I got like, I get a minimum 25. I'm not full time yet, but I mean, that's a lot better than 12. Consistently getting 25 to 30. I mean, that's, you're making like $15 an hour. Publix ain't that bad. I mean, that's why, like, Riley came to visit, bro, and I was like, he was blowing my phone up. My manager, like, is a stickler, but he's fucking smart as hell. And he looked at me like, don't tell me you're doing that shit after I literally gave you a shot. You know what I mean? Either way, man, y'all keep it real, and, say what's up to the guests for me. I mean, that shit's dope. I still fuck with them, and they dope. You know what I mean? I'm respectful.
Yeah. Isaac thinks you're dope, Eros Nices. So God bless.
Right.
Thank you.
Hey, is that the gentleman who you had mentioned before that you would recommend an interview with him? I don't know if that's him.
No. Yeah, he asked me to reach out to you guys about doing an interview.
This was a while back during like the Corona stuff, and we were like, we were like distant, and I don't think I ever responded. Yeah. So please let him know that we're happy to go on there. It's not. Yeah, we're happy to do that. It's just we had a lot of shit going on, so we didn't mean to, not follow up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know he was really interested in the Freemason stuff that we talked about last time.
Oh.
Yeah. But I will let him know says yes to you. Okay. All right. I'll let him know. So have fun on his podcast whenever you do it. Yeah. On that note, I need to end the show because I need to get out of here. Before I finish another half of this bottle of bourbon. Right. Eros, nicest, thank you so much. You guys are wonderful.
Do it all.
I love everything about the two of you. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you for having us back. Yeah.
Good hanging out with you guys.